Welcome to Court Helicopter Explainer. We have been prompted to bring this edition as we were prompted to bring the episodes about the Constitution, which if you have not look at the 25 episodes we did about the Constitution of Kenya. If you are a foreigner in this country, go and look at Court Helicopter. You know all the provisions of the Constitution. If you are a diaspora guy, you were not here when the Constitution was made, and you believed that Raila Odinga and Kibaki will read for you, we did that. Today, Court Helicopter is answering this question. Section 7 of the Penal Code provides that ignorance of the law is no defense in a court of law. We are dealing with people who are arrested and their defense is that they were ignorant. They didn't know the law. Today, we are looking at the offenses of you obstructing judicial officers, police officers from doing their work. Have you assisted and aided a prisoner to escape, to run away? A prisoner has escaped from Kamiti prison. A prisoner has escaped from Langata prison. Have you ever assisted that person to escape? 2, you as a person who has been arrested by the police, can the police take your DNA test? Can they get your DNA sample? What are the powers? Can the court order you to undergo a DNA test? Cases, for example, nowadays, cases of sexual offenses in nature, it is only the girl or the woman or the child and the perpetrator. There are 2. It is at midnight. The girl who is a victim is saying it is Omari. And Omari is saying it is not me. Can the DNA be ordered to prove sexual offenses? Can you object to a DNA being taken? Murder cases, you get a body on the road, no witness saw how that person is committed. The police come and take samples of DNA. They go to the bureau and find this person, the DNA is this one. They reconstruct the scene and they come to you and tell you, come, we want to take a sample of your DNA. The clothes in a defilement matter, in a rape matter, the pant the girl was wearing, the pant the child was wearing, the underwear was taken and preserved. They took the DNA samples. Then they arrest you after 4 years. They want the DNA of your pubic hair. Then you say, no, you can't take it. What does the law talk about? The scientific analysis. Will you be arrested for obstructing the police from doing their order? Wakili Danstan Omari always brings it because the law provides it. Chapter 12, rescues and escapes and obstructing officers of court. Rescue. Section 122. Any person who by force rescues or attempts to rescue from lawful custody any other person is guilty of a misdemeanor. There are people who have been arrested and they are in a police Land Rover. Your brother, your husband, your sister, your parents have been arrested by the area chief, by the area assistant chief, by the police officers. Remember, nowadays we have the APs and we have the Kenya Police Service. They are walking. You rush and tell, release this person. You carry a panga and say, release this person. That person is under lawful custody. That is an offense. 2, the Land Rover has carried people. You put a roadblock, lead tires, and say to the Choma Igari, release these people. Third, the persons have been arrested and they have been taken to the police custody. You storm the police custody. Because you remember the Gilbert Ajwang matter. The people stormed into the police station and burned the police station. But people sometimes storm into the police station and release the people who have been arrested and are in police custody. You know your person has been arrested, he has taken plea, he is in a prison. Today, he's being brought to prison, to court. You waylay the prison van and you release that person who is arrested and is in custody of prison officers. What does the law say in releasing a person who is under lawful custody? If you do this, and that person was in a death row sentence, it says, if the last named person is under sentence of death or imprisonment for life, or charged with the offense punishable with death, or imprisonment for life, or guilty of a felony and is live for imprisonment for life, you will be jailed for 3 years, for 7 years. If that person you are releasing is in that class, you'll go in for 7 years. It goes on to say, if that person, the other person, is imprisoned or a charge or under sentence for any other offense other than those above, you'll be jailed for 7 years. Or you'll go in for a misdemeanor. So I'm telling you, the Gen Z guys, when the demonstrations were there, the Gen Z went releasing people who were arrested. Were you aware of this law? You went to Central Police Station trying to release your colleagues who were arrested. It is such a serious offense to try to storm into a police station to release anybody in lawful custody. It is an offense to try to release anybody in lawful offense. Let us do sampling for DNA identification. Article section 122A says a senior police officer may order DNA sampling procedure on a suspect. 1. A police officer on a rank above an inspector may order in writing a person suspected of having committed a serious offense to undergo a DNA sampling procedure if there are reasonable grounds to believe that the procedure might produce evidence tending to confirm or disprove that the suspect committed the alleged offense. Now you understand. 1. Whenever anybody goes to report a sexual offenses act, incest, rape, defilement, all those, a P3 is issued by the police. That police issuing a P3 form is ordering for a DNA to be done, a forensic done to that victim. The doctor does the forensics on the sexual offenses victim. The suspect, when the suspect is arrested, he'll be taken to the doctor for the doctors to take the forensic DNA. My friend, you cannot deny. You cannot deny, because the law allows a police officer above the rank of an inspector to do that. 2, if it is grievous harm, and the grievous harm was caused by a bitings of your teeth, the police officer will order your teeth to be taken for a forensic DNA. If it was a grievous harm caused by a physical altercation, there was a body contact between you and the person who died, or between you and the person who is a victim. You hit the guy with punches. You hit the guy with kicks. They will take a sample of your clothes to see if there is a DNA testing when there was altercations in the fight. So the officers are allowed to do that. 2, in this section, the DNA sampling procedure means a procedure carried out by a medical practitioner consisting of 1, A, taking of a sample of saliva or a sample of a buccal swab. They will always get your saliva, and take it. Saliva has a lot of stories. You went into a house at Airbnb. You murdered somebody. You don't know that they will look for saliva in the house. If you spit in the sink, the DCI will take samples from there. If you spit somewhere, they'll take saliva from there. If you kissed the girl before you killed her, they'll take your sample of your saliva. The saliva leaves that on the victim. That is number 1. Number 2, the taking of a blood sample. The doctor at the government chemist, they will take a sample of your blood. They will check in that sample if there was a murder, if the blood on the body has a match with your blood DNA. If the clothes of the victim has any blood stain, it will be matched with the samples of your blood samples. So the DNA of your blood will be taken. 3, the taking of a sample of hair from the head or underarm or wherever the doctor will want it taken. Hair contains your DNA. Any part of the body that has hair, your hair, it can never be the same like any other person. So today, your hair is like your fingerprint. It is only yours. The DNA of Danstan Omari is in the hair. Any part of the body that has hair. Next, the taking of a sample from a fingernail or a toenail or from under the nail. This nail, my friend, has a story. Whether you are a woman with your pedicure, you can never change the DNA. It is at your fingernails. the DCI will take it. Whether you cut the finger, the tip of the nail, you change it, it grows afresh. The original DNA is there. So, whenever there is a commotion, there is a weapon of murder, the fingernail remains there. The DNA is transmitted. If these, my specs, I have left my DNA on it. If you are a car robber, you opened the car, you drove the car, you left your DNA on the steering wheel and the lock to open the car. If it is robbery, you touched the door, you leave your fingernails there. If you had sex with somebody by force, you leave your DNA by the pubic hair. You are cheated, and you don't sperm, you get condom, you avoid that, the DNA remains with that person. Wakili now Danstan is telling you, keep your clothes off, put your clothes for sports, run away from crime. You can never escape. Remember, the DCI has now the most sophisticated laboratory, forensic laboratory in Africa at the DCI headquarters. The government chemist is now decentralized from Nairobi to other regions. You cannot escape. The forensics, the CRB, what they call Criminal Research Bureau at the DCI, has all these things. They will analyze these samples and you'll be arrested. It says, for the purpose of performing a test or analysis upon the sample in order to confirm or disprove a supposition concerning the identity of the person who committed a particular crime. Serious offense means an offense punishable by imprisonment for a term of 12 months or more. Any offense that you are going to be jailed above 12 months, the DCI has the power to take your samples. The DCI has powers to take your DNA testing. So, where are you going to run away? The Subarus will come for you. And forensically, you will go to court. Remember, the question of unexplained murder is becoming a story of the past. The story of unclaimed sexual offenses on women, it is now a story that is over. The stories of crime, violent crimes, when nobody could be found, has been resolved by science. The digital era of crime, and that is what Wakili Danstan Omari and Court Helicopter is bringing it to you, that you better look for a track jacket, you better look for shoes, sneakers, abandon crime, run away from crime, get into lawful means of earning. It will not be business as usual 2026 going forward. Then we have, can somebody reject to comply? You say you cannot give your DNA testing? Under section 122B, the DCI, if you refuse, they will get a court order to compel you to do that. You have no way you can reject your DNA to be taken for that. So anybody trying to say that I cannot subscribe myself to it, you will subscribe to it. And if the court orders you to be analyzed and you refuse, true, you can't be beaten, but you'll be taken as guilty and you'll be convicted for the offense that the DCI is trying to do. It is not bad also. Somebody can frame you and say it is you who did that. you can come in, you can go in and get your DNA sampling removed. For example, over Christmas, you are not in the village. Somebody was murdered. Then they say, it is you. Then they say, get us your sample. You refuse, my friend, you'll be convicted for murder. So this DNA is to get who did it and also to exonerate those ones who are not suspects in this matter. Section 122 also, you can volunteer to do that. By consent, you say, I am offering myself for that so that I do not get involved in this matter. For example, people are going all over in social media, are maligning your name. You walk to the DCI, say, clear me out. By consent, you will undergo that. And the consent will be done in that way. What about escaping when you are in lawful custody? We dealt with somebody assisting somebody to escape. What happens? If you are arrested yourself and you jump out of a moving Land Rover, you jump and run away. One time, the activists, that time of Gen Z, the boy in a suit, Mark somebody, was seen running away into the police, running away from the police and running to nation media. Was he under arrest? And he ran away from under arrest. You can see the clip behind. We are showing you him running away from the police. Did he commit an offense? So the question we ask, Caswell, the activist and the purported faceless leader of the Gen Z generation, at one time, court helicopter captured him, running away from police officers to the media house, Nation Media House. Do you know he committed an offense? Kenyans think running away from arresting if you are under lawful custody is a joke. What does the law say? What offense did Samuel commit? Section 123 talks of escape. Any person who, being in lawful custody, escapes from that custody is guilty of a misdemeanor. So Caswell's escape from lawful custody. What is lawful custody? The police don't need to handcuff you for you to be in lawful custody. The police don't need to put you in a cell for you in being lawful custody. The police only need to tell you you are under arrest. Only that. That means you are under lawful police custody. Was Samuel told that he was under lawful custody? Yes. And he ran. That was escape from lawful custody. How many of you have you escaped from lawful custody? Lawful custody is not when you are under the chain. Lawful custody, the police mode of arrest is one, he'll touch you. That means you are under arrest. Two, he'll tell you or she'll tell you you are under arrest. That is under arrest. Three, he will handcuff you. That is after you have been told you are under arrest. So Caswell can still be arrested and be charged. As I said, there is no limit for offenses called crime. You can do a crime now, you can be arrested 100 years to come. Wakili Danstan Omari brings it as it is. What about aiding escape? Did anybody assist Samuel to escape? Have you ever assisted anybody who is under lawful custody to escape? What does aiding escape means? Any person, section 124, who aids a prisoner in escaping or attempting to escape from lawful custody, or conveys anything or causes anything to be conveyed into prison with the intent to facilitate the escape of a prisoner, is guilty of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 7 years. The prisoners who have been convicted, if you assist somebody from Kamiti prison, from Kisii prison, from Bungoma prison, from Shimolatewa prison, from Langata prison, if you assist as a civilian or as a prison officer or anybody of any way, if you assist somebody to escape. Number two, if you aid that person by conveying anything, by sending a vehicle, by taking him a rope so that he can tie to escape, by getting there was a time people dug from out an under tunnel so that the under tunnel, it goes up to, it enters prison, then those people escape. If you aid somebody to escape from prison, my friend, you'll go in for 7 years. Then 126.25, if you remove anything under lawful seizure, if there are things that have been arrested, there's cannabis that have been arrested, it's under the police station. There are things that have been captured, they're under the authority of the police. For example, the trailers that fall on the road. The police come in. Trailer ya unga imeanguka. The police come in. Once the police come in, those products are under lawful custody of the police. You get there and remove that, the unga bills. You get there and take the beer cans. You get there, you carry the kegs. You drink yourself. Trucks of oil, kerosene, heading to Salga. You get there, you get those things that are already in lawful custody. If you do that, you are liable to imprisonment for 3 years. Lastly, anybody in 126, which is the last section in this episode, anybody who obstructs a court officer from doing their job. Court officers, we have court bailiffs. The court bailiffs are officers of the court. They will be sent to arrest you. The court bailiffs will be sent to serve you a court order or a court summon. The court bailiffs will be anybody from court. Let me repeat it. Any person who willfully obstructs or resists any person lawfully charged with the execution of an order or warrant of any court is guilty of a misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 1 year. When an auctioneer comes with a court order to attach your property, he is a court officer. He is implementing a court order. I know people chase people who have brought eviction orders. You will go in for jail. There are auctioneers. When they come to proclaim, we shall be dealing with the Auctioneers Act, when we shall be dealing with the laws that deal with rent. The other day, I saw on social media, somebody, a landlord has gone and carried a door because there is rent default. We shall be dealing with that law. Don't worry, court helicopter will teach you that. But if there is a court order, anybody coming to enforce a court order, if you obstruct that person, you are going in for 3 years. Wakili Danstan Omari, always telling you, there is no defense There is no defense that I didn't know. I was ignorant. Article 7 of the Penal Code has brought it to you. We are doing it in a manner that is symbolic. We are in sports gear. Stop crime, join sports. If you don't want to join sports, put your clothes, run away from crime. Because if you do not avoid crime, now that you know, you will not go back to court and say, I was ignorant, I didn't know the law. Keep watching, keep listening, keep reading, because we are now putting it in. You can read if you have a problem with your ears. As we promised, we transcribe it for you. Wakili Danstan Omari, always happy to give it to you from Court Helicopter. Happy New Year, and wish you a crime-free year 2026.